Was there ever a time when you thought you were going to die? Did that go through your head?
Yeah, I mean, they told me, like, yes, if I didn't have this random spit test where I got genetically tested to find out I had the BRCA gene and I didn't go to get the preventive surgery, they wouldn't have found the cancer and I would have been dead by now. They told me. So yeah, I thought about it.
This is StRest. I'm Kerstin Lindquist, health coach, author, and Emmy award-winning TV host. I've committed to helping people reduce stress through impressive health science, attainable mindset change, and biblical truth. Let's have a real conversation with zero judgment and endless solutions that you can use. You aren't alone. You can do this. Let me help you reduce stress and make room for rest.
My guest today is a friend of mine from QVC, Jill Martin. You know her, well, from QVC for sure, but also she is the creator of Steals and Deals on the Today Show. She's the one who really started this entire trend of shopping through news. She was also on the 4th hour of Today, but most recently, if you do follow Jill, you know that she went through a very public battle with cancer as well as divorce. We're going to get into all of that, but a word about this episode. I've never had a podcast guest like this before. She moves a bunch. There's a lot of noise in the background. We meet other people. She kind of takes me on a little tour during the podcast. So you're going to want to stay tuned for the entire time because she actually spends some time interviewing me and then also people around her. It's definitely a very fun and informative episode of StRest. First of all, I'm so happy to see you and see you someplace warm.
Yeah, and see me like in like my outfit that I just went walking in and taking time for myself, which I know you are too.
I feel like I think I want to turn this podcast into okay, nobody's allowed to wear lots of makeup and get dressed up because I want to like have a break from that part of my life. So I feel like from now on, I should have all of my guests just come as you are.
In your pajamas. I mean,
I love that.
Honestly, I put on lip gloss and brushed my teeth for you, but that's about it. Like,
well, and you didn't even have to brush your teeth because, we're not in the same room.
You wouldn't know, but that I did as, out of respect for America. No, but I like that idea for you. And it's authentic to who you are.
It really, really is. It's just so beautiful to see you and see you outside of QVC and someplace relaxed. How are you doing?
Oh, wow. I mean, I don't even know. I haven't seen you in so long. But I appreciate all your texts and everything, of course. Yeah, I mean, life is very complicated. And when you're not healthy, it really takes over everything. The magnitude of that is tremendous. So I am thriving under the circumstances. I am kicking butt at work. And I started dating again because, I also got divorced in addition to the breast cancer. So I'm like really just trying my best and staying in my lane and doing what I'm good at, which is Sherpa all the time, as you know, and you know more than anyone that.
Praise the Lord for that, because the world needs more Sherpa.
I mean,
your Sherpa, not just any.
Right. Sherpa's not a fabrication, it's a lifestyle.
No, it is. I love that.
So, yeah. So it is, though. Right now, like I'm not in a Sherpa because it's 80 degrees, but I'm always in a Sherpa. I'm always in a cropped hoodie, or there are so many different iterations coming out that you're going to love. But I fainted last time I was in Miami because I wore a Sherpa. It was so hot.
Yeah, don't do that. Although when the air conditioning's pumping, I mean.
Well, that's the thing. So Friday night, like everybody here wears them, but they wear them inside, obviously, when it's cold. But yeah, so I'm doing like really well considering I'm cancer free. So, yeah, I mean, it's hard when you say that. And it's like the bar is so low, like I'm alive, so.
When you say that, though, Jill, because there are so many people watching who have been through or are going through or know friends who are going through, which is part of the reason why I wanted to talk to you in this space, is there the constant worry and stress and fear of my next test? Or can you separate yourself from that?
I don't have that, but I know a lot of survivors do. Like, I don't ever think about, I had a colonoscopy the other day, and it was very emotional, but I wasn't like, it's coming back, or I never think about that. But I know other people do.
How do you do that? How do you stop yourself?
It's like, how you're insecure about something and I'm insecure about something else, and we're like I wish I wasn't insecure in that. And you're like, I wish I could take that away from you because I'm not. It's just not something I think about. And I'm not like all poly positive all the time. I mean, I try to be, but it was so horrible, honestly, that for it to think about it coming back is so enormous and huge that I just choose not to.
Was there ever a time when you thought you were going to die? Did that go through your head?
Yeah, I mean, they told me, like, yes, if I didn't have this random spit test where I got genetically tested to find out I had the BRCA gene and I didn't go to get the preventive surgery, they wouldn't have found the cancer and I would have been dead by now. They told me. So yeah, I thought about it, but I'm not really like afraid of, I'm not really afraid of death. Like, so if you're not afraid of something, I think when you think about something, it's something you're afraid of. And I don't fear that. I feel like there's another, I know you believe this too, but I feel like there's another chapter. So it's not an ending.
So yeah, when everything happened, how did you deal with that acute stress?
It's interesting because they told me that cancer survivors, and it's true, I was more sad after treatment. Like when you find out they say you have cancer, and it's like not so, people are like running around. It is chaotic, it's what you picture. Like, do you see it? Do you see it? So it is that in the doctor's room. But after they tell you, you're in like, okay, survival mode. So like you plan the surgeries, you go to the chemo, you're actively doing something to fix it. So your body is in fight or flight. When you stop treatment is when your body panics because it's used to getting the medicine. And I think I would say I'm only speaking on behalf of my story, but a lot of this is most people will tell you, but of course, this is just my experience. So the acute stress is was for me at least, to deal with than when it was over. You lose your eyelashes and your eyebrows, which you've already lost your hair because your body thinks it's getting treatment and then sort of like freaks out, that it's not getting it. So I think the stress was more drawn out than acute.
And do you find that the stress kind of piled on as soon as you stopped and you had a chance to breathe and realize what was happening or had just happened?
I mean, the thing is, it's so devastating. It's like when my mom gets worried that like the phone, when I call, like, still, I'm like, you got the call. Like, what else? What are you worried about? You got the call, your daughter had cancer, It's almost like, but it's so enormous. Like, I can't share enough with you. And I've known you for so long. So and it's important to talk about. It's just an enormous shift in life, different than the divorce and all that stuff.
And so then there's that piece. So you go through the worst
Going
diagnosis of
through.
your life, continue to. You have cancer, but you're cancer free right now, which we love, and treatment, and then divorce on top of that. That I think people can be like, okay, I have cancer and I'm dealing with cancer, or I have a divorce and now I'm dealing with a divorce. But to do the two at the same time, Jill, how do you survive that?
I know. Well, it wouldn't have been like, it was not ideal timing to happen, but it had nothing to do with the cancer, obviously. We just weren't getting along, but it's very hard. But then there's another way of looking at it, which I think is interesting, which is everything that, like, I don't want to say toxic, but things that are not meant for you in your life or sickness, like that all went away together. The cancer didn't go away, but I'm saying I fought for the cancer and then I got divorced in the midst of it. It's almost like a period on that chapter of my life. And now it's after. Everything
Right.
is already before and after cancer. Like that's just a thing. It's like if you lose a family member, it will always be before and after. And my oncologist, who's very realistic, I was so grateful, let me have that strength, saying like, don't let people tell you that it's not. I can move back to my table in the shade now. Don't let people tell you that it's not before and after and make you feel like, oh, life goes back to normal. It doesn't. It's before and after. Like normally I would stress out that I didn't have like an ideal place to do this with you or whatever. But I'm like, you know what? This is like real life and this is like how it goes. And then like
And I love it.
if you want to listen and like hear about this, like I'm here for it and here to help. And if
Well,
not, that's okay
and
too.
you and I have both spent much of our lives in front of cameras where everything has to be perfect and the audio has to be perfect and the lights have to be perfect and
No,
everything and
I'm
we have
I'm
to be
like so
perfect.
I'm like way beyond that.
Yeah, we're done.
I mean, I can't wait to talk about you. I know you want to talk about me, but I'll talk about me and then we can talk about you. I am so done with that. Like it's almost like it's a whole different cool silver linings part of it. The magic
How
part of it.
so? How has that let you relieve some of the stress of
I mean,
what you do?
because I so believe in who I am, and I know I share this with you, like, I make mistakes, but nothing like that anybody would say, like, "Did you hear that, Jill?" Like, I mean, I worked so hard to be a fabulous human being, meaning not like the prettiest, the smartest, the whatever, but I worked so hard to bring magic into other people's lives that the same magic that I've given for so many years and that I've built up, I feel like coin in the bank, I'm getting back now. And that wouldn't have happened. I just have such a different perspective. I mean, I didn't care what anybody thought before because I lived so to my morals and values, but now I really don't. I mean, if you have a problem with me, like that's on you. And I really believe that.
Do you think that that helps? And so knowing you for the amount of time that I have, and for people who don't know, Jill and I were on QVC together for a very, very long time. So she'd come into the studio, we'd be together, we'd be presenting all of her lines
No,
and
but
all of her fabulous things.
the one thing you always stuck on, and I think we should talk about this when we talk about business, is that like you're not probably not surprised that the Sherpa Lounger is like the business now.
Yeah,
The whole business.
right. Because it was the best. It still is the best. I wore this morning the
No,
star
I know,
one.
and yours could like walk by itself, but I'm saying you're one
It could
person who
walk.
understands that 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 item is different than anything else. And so like that's interesting to me that you it's interesting to me also that you knew me before cancer because
But
I
it's
meet people
interesting.
now and I'm like, you didn't know me then. That's so crazy. Like I
Yeah.
have this long, crazy hair. Like, you know, I was like, I don't know, just different, so different.
I'd be so interested to be back on stage with you again, and I'm sure one day we will, and who knows, whatever capacity.
Right. We are
But
already right now.
right, yes, it's true. But it was interesting because when you came into the studio at QVC, you were very intense in a good word. I was intense, like super high energy, let's go, da, 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 da. And you were the same, like you matched that, like boss babe definition of the word, right? And I wonder now with the Jill that I'm seeing here, if now you've not relaxed a little bit, but kind of let some of that go in the post-cancer life. What do you think?
It's funny, like, I guess I don't know if I put me now and me 2 years ago next to each other, I'm sure I would see it more. But when it's so gradual, like, for example, like, I don't stay up till past like 8:30. Like, the idea of coming there and then sleeping in the car and going to the Today Show is not like something I would do now. I couldn't do it.
Bravo. I'm proud of you for that because it's
But I
not
mean,
healthy.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Like QVC is such an amazing, unbelievable opportunity for me.
Absolutely.
And so like that I'm able to benefit from all the years I did do that because, you know, it's like news. It's like you have to get up. It's that's the cool part about it, you know? And it's always rolling and you have to like be on it. But no, I think the approach is very different. I think, you know, I'd have one meeting with you now and I would tell you exactly why and I would ask your opinion and then I would go on the air. And then, like, I would analyze it, but there would be no noise in between all of that. It would be very neat.
What else has changed for you? Or what mental or physical or spiritual health practices do you have as a result of what you've gone through over the last couple of years?
Oh my God, I mean, it's like everything. I mean, I still eat, like, I ate Twizzlers yesterday. Like, I'm still, like, addicted to junk food. And, like,
It's all
you know,
balance.
and there are some people who, like, believe that, like, you can eat clean. Like, I did so much right and I got so sick. So, like, it's just, I believe everybody should believe in something passionately, and whatever that is, if that means that you don't eat anything with preservatives in it, like you should do that, and that's awesome. And I don't judge you for that. But like, I don't want to be judged for eating it either. I think there's a lot of right ways, and I think that, you know, for me, the key to happiness is to know what your superpower is, hone that, and just like stay in your lane and not grab at everything. Like, you can't do everything.
Let's talk about Sherpa because Sherpa is one of those fabrics that isn't just a fabric that feels good. It is
a mindset shift. Like it really does change your brain. It's that thing that you come home from a rough day or you're going through treatment or something and you want to put it on because it mentally and emotionally makes you feel better. There's not a
You're
lot
so
like that.
you're so funny. I want to actually, if it's funny, I want my friend. Oh, here he is. I want you to meet him. Um,
Who is this?
Chris Birch, who is like a pioneer in apparel and everything I'm saying. He like when I had chemotherapy, I stayed at his house and he took care of me. But this is the Sherpa lifestyle, meaning, wherever your safe place is where your Sherpa is. And even if it's, 1,000 degrees out, it's cold inside and you could always count on it. And it's because, you and I could both sell something one time. I mean, we've earned the viewer's trust, but not 10 times and 100 times after that. She wouldn't believe you.
Right. And come back and buy more and more, or personally come back and buy more and more, because being
Oh,
a
I mean,
QVC host for 13 years, I've had the pick of products for 13 years. And these are the things that I wear over and over.
right. And if she buys one, she buys 10,
Yeah.
So
I don't
it's
have this
chaos.
pink though. I'm kind of loving this. Is this
No,
pink that you have on?
this is the Lounger Light, which is
Okay.
which is one layer. Let me just go get water or something. I'm taking you on a tour. But so I'm building the whole brand around it being not only the lounger, but I went out and I got all the licenses. So the MBA, the WNBA, and all the different licenses. And I just took the hero item and kept it on the back. And it's working everywhere because I always say, do you want to be your most comfortable self? If you do, then this is the item for you. If you don't, then this isn't the item for you. That's my motto. Do you like it?
I love it. I think it's fantastic.
Okay, I'm back. I went
So
to get.
you've been in magazines. It's been getting a lot of press. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so no, I mean, it's been everywhere. We used it as a canvas to raise advocacy over Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We turned the logos pink and all the teams took part in it. And we're just building that up more this year. But we're looking to change the game. Like everyone's looking for, elevation, personalization, accessible elegance, but the quality has to be there. And so with everything going on, it's very hard. And so it took 25 years to come up with one product that now is my whole brand. But imagine that. I had hundreds of SKUs.
Right. I do hope you don't stop making the cuddly buddies though, because that's like my son's
No, no,
favorite.
no. They were named Oprah's favorite thing.
I know there, and literally every night he snuggles with it. What does he have? The elephant, maybe? It's gray.
Yeah, it's amazing. Wait, so I mean, I want to answer everything and talk about everything, but can we just talk about you for a little bit so we
Whatever
get
you
on?
want. This is your hour too, so go for it.
Okay, so yeah, so just tell me exactly what happened, like what the story is.
Oh, well, I went on that mission trip in 2023. And so things started to change then. That's when I took 3.5 months off from QVC. And I came
When you
back
say
and
things started to change just internally,
I felt like I probably needed to leave. Yeah, like it was inside of me. And I'm always very in tune with what the Lord is saying to me. And I would always check in. Am I still being used at QVC? Do you still want me here? And the answer was always yes. Like not only to be able to speak to millions of women about health and faith and everything else, but also internally inside a
so
big
you have like
corporation
a dialogue that you have directly that you feel
with the
like,
Lord all the time, all the time. And I can feel that Holy Spirit presence. And I can, when I sit in my morning prayers and say, what do you want me to know? And what do you want me to do? I can hear him saying, do this, do that. I can hear that. It was funny. I just had Candace Cameron Bure on and she's like, well, how often do you hear? And I was like, at least a few times a week. I just feel like I know the answer to something. Oh, in
so when you say you know the
2024.
answer, if somebody were to tell you that you were wrong or disagreed, you would say you're wrong. Like I heard it direct.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but I don't think that's ever happened to me before. It's more like
No, but
let's
I'm saying,
say, go ahead.
no, I was just saying, like, if you think something,
Mhm.
like, it's not subjective, it's objective to you.
Yeah.
Like, you
Yeah.
know the right answer in some
Yeah.
things. Right.
But most of the things that I'm really petitioning the Lord on are things where it's like, should I do this, Lord? Or what do you want me to know about helping this person? Or whom should I serve today? It's not very I don't know, it's not something that's very political or would be
Right.
anything that anybody
No,
would
I
say no
just
about.
wonder because I believe that you believe that. I can't
Yeah.
do that, but I
Yeah.
believe that you that's your superpower.
Yeah. And I also believe that you hear more the more rested you are and quiet you can be so that you can hear that. Because there's a lot of noise in this world and there's a lot of stress, which is part of the reason we have this podcast. And the more stressed out you are, there's more is that barrier between you and for me, it's the Lord, other people's higher power, and the Holy Spirit.
You're saying
So
the more stress or the more
the more
noise.
stressed you are. Yeah. Because you're more of the world as opposed to.
Like you choose to live your life with as little stress as possible.
Yeah, it's interesting though, because I feel like I do have tons of stress. I mean, I have 3 kids. Now I have my own company and I'm hustling more than ever. There's so many things to be stressed out about, but I definitely have those things in place like sauna and sleep and fasting and all of those things that help me manage the stress because there's good and bad stress. And you want to up that good stress, the good stress that helps people cure cancer. And you want to diminish the bad stress, the stress that causes cancer.
I think my cancer was exacerbated by stress.
If we look into science, there's a lot behind that,
Well,
which is part of the reason why
it makes-
since COVID, there's been more
more
cancer since COVID.
because you're saying people were so stressed and anxious and yeah. I mean, and you're right.
Why do you think yours was exacerbated by stress?
I mean, I just think I was, my husband was amazing during cancer, but we weren't getting along terrifically. So like, that's not good. And I was just doing too much in business, too much, way too much, inefficiently too. I mean, I'm really good like you are, I got it, but you can't operate 100 and 100. Like you have to pick and choose where you put your meat and like that, those things will flourish. The more attention you pay to something, the more meticulous. I'd rather do something now that's like perfect, like the perfect tree, the perfect Sherpa, than do like 100 things and then fits and did it ship. The only thing I have to worry about is, do I like the patch that's going on the back, the embroidered patch? And that metaphorically is like what I worry about now. I don't put myself in situations that I'm not going to be comfortable in. I choose to not. Like if I know I'm going to a party and that person like doesn't really want me there, or someone's there who, for whatever reason, you don't have juice with, or like I wouldn't do that now. And I would have in the past.
The 2 biggest stressors in your life, research shows, are going to be work and relationships. And you just kind of hit on both of them at the same time.
Of course. I mean, that's obvious. Isn't that obvious with just in terms of time?
Yeah.
Like you spend your most time on those 2 things.
Yeah. And so I started hearing that the Lord was like, it's time for us to use these amazing skills that you have to further my kingdom a little bit more. And also my kids went into high school. My 2 oldest went into high school. I still have the 8-year-old. And I don't know if anybody's heard, but high school is really hard for girls these days. And I knew that I couldn't go into another 4th quarter in retail and give everything I needed to sophomore girls. So I can't
even imagine. It's hard enough as like a very formed adult with the phone and the social media and it's like empathize. I think life is really hard. Yeah. Knowing what it was without it.
Yeah. Yeah, they say all the time, you don't understand what it's like. And I'm like, I don't. I would never want to go back. High school was hard enough for me without what you guys have to go through.
College too, I thought was hard. Honestly, and I wouldn't want to go back to, I'm good like right here now. Like, I don't know if you would you go back? I mean, if you didn't have that, you wouldn't know that this is good.
Yeah, I do say often 40s has been really good. 40s has been some of the hardest, but also the best. I feel more comfortable in my skin, happier.
Right. I mean, you're amazing. You're so inspirational and you look amazing and your body looks amazing. I mean, but you put the work in, so it should.
I do.
Like I eat jelly donuts at night. You don't.
Although we're recording this the day after the Super Bowl. Go Birds. And I don't know, who were you rooting for?
Oh no, I was like very happy with either storyline.
Okay.
And I was happy for them.
Okay. And I had a cocktail, which I never drink. And I had a cocktail last night and I had brownies because my kid wanted to make brownies. So it's all about balance. Like you just gotta.
But did you feel badly after it?
I didn't. Because my body is really not used to that. So I did feel a little, but this morning I did a sauna and I lifted weights and I feel great now. So I know how to.
You
I know how to
prefer the way
back.
you feel when you don't have that in your body.
Right. And I do know from doing the research that our bodies are literally made by what we eat. I mean, we're 3D printed in our birth mother's wombs from food, and we are reforming ourselves every single day from food. So it's impacting our cells. And especially when you've gotten to a point where you feel great on eating more whole foods, when I put something that's not like that into my body, I can feel it. Doesn't mean I don't like it. I love myself a great brownie, and I love a martini from time to time.
Right. Yeah, but not everything that, you have to choose. It's like, I would, like, yeah, I'm sure you'd love to eat brownies too, but like, I don't like the way I feel either.
Right. Right. What do you do in that respect? Is there anything, do you have any hard and fast rules for yourself these days?
I mean, yeah, to have grace on myself and be easier on myself. Yeah. Like if someone said to me the other day, "You're so sensitive." And I said, "About this, I am." And you could either choose to like satiate it or make me feel badly for being sensitive. No, I mean, I'm, I'm pretty much living like if someone doesn't want to buy the Sherpa, I'm like, bad call, like you don't want to buy this. Like, I don't understand. Like what bothers? It's machine washable, that it's the most comfortable, that it has thumb holes.
And it really is fantastic.
Do you still wear your star one or your ivory one?
So the star one is the one that I wear all the time. That's what I was wearing
I
this
have to
morning
send
when
you now I can
walk.
send you one
Thank you. You can. When I walk
with
the
your
kids down to the
initials
bus
on
stop.
it and everything.
I would love that. And I still always tell the story about how Alberti Popaj, who was my host for 10 years on the #1 show on the network, which was Saturday Morning Q, telling you to put the
Alberti adjustment.
Yeah.
The Alberti adjustment made the final OG.
Yeah.
The OG Sherpa though, and that's the other thing we learned, which is like metaphorically, like they put a shawl collar on it. They did it without it's long with a hood with the button. That's like the formula.
Yeah. So true. And even like my 15-year-olds, she has a black one that she wears all the
Of
time.
course, they all wear them, and they even just like overdress. And now you'll love we're doing cropped.
Ooh, I love that. See, at QVC, I could never talk crop because but personally, I love a good crop from time
Yeah,
to time.
I'm actually doing ultra cropped, but I'm still on QVC. But our girl doesn't like crop. I mean, sort of crop, not ultra cropped.
Right.
So no, I'm doing the OG one. I have a surprise one coming this year.
That's great. So just to finish off our conversation about what I'm doing. So I decided it was time to take a step back. That was in July of 2024. Just with such love in my heart for QVC, it wasn't leaving because I didn't like it there.
So was there like a day that you were like, this is it? Or did it take time?
No, it took a long time and I fought it because I definitely heard the calling to move away. And I kept on saying, God, I think you're wrong. I think I need to stay. I think I'm helping women here. This is easy. I'm the primary breadwinner for my family. How can you ask me to leave something that I'm good at and that is a paycheck every single month? So it was hard. It was a pushback. And the way that life works, I gave my notice in May around the same time that my husband went through a major health problem in our home. So
is he okay?
And he's great now. He's wonderful. But it was like, I was like, really? I just quit. I had friends going, okay, take it back. Tell him you don't quit. And I was like, no, that's still what I need to do. And because my relationship with QVC and because they have been so wonderful, they're like, could you please just stay through fourth quarter on a minimal basis? So that's how I ended up sticking around and doing that #1 show on the network on Saturdays through the end of the year. And then even after that, it was like, could you do a little health and wellness in January? So that's when my last day was finally February 6th. And it was great. So I was very, very, very part-time, being able to do the products and the shows that were very authentic to me, because that was the other part of it. I can sell anything, Jill. You know that. You could sell anything. But what we want to sell are the things that are authentic to us.
Right.
And I was at
understand.
that point. I was at
I
that
understand.
point too.
It's the other way to look at it, because I have this on Steals and Deals, like with the Today Show, is that I've like refined that a little bit, which might be helpful to you too.
Yeah,
just
please.
In general. It doesn't have to be like perfect. Like things could be a little bit blurry and messy.
Absolutely. And they should be.
So like, to me, it's like with Steals and Deals, for example, it gets vetted of the best in that category. And it's something that, so if I were suggesting somebody use that blanket, I would recommend that blanket. Not necessarily. So that's how I look at it. It's that like it's a vetted and you did that for so many years. Why you were able to do it well is you were given great product. Like if you weren't given great product, that would have been very hard for you to sell.
Right. And so the way that I tweaked it in my head, people would always ask, well, how can you sell all these things? Like you can't like all of them. And I would say, no, but somebody does. And I can figure out who that person is and why they should buy it, why they like it. You won't
So
hear
we're
me
saying
say
the same thing.
yeah. You won't hear me say I love something unless I love it. Like when I sell your Sherpa or when I presented that, I loved it. I wore it all the time and you could hear the stories of my life. But there was one point where I sold dirt. Like I sold dirt at 3:00 in the morning. It was dirt from Ireland on an Irish day.
Oh my God.
I don't love Irish dirt, but I knew somebody did, so I could figure out how they would like it.
That is the funniest thing. Okay, so Chris, just hear this. I won't put you on camera, but say that again. We were talking about being authentic. She just left QVC, but she's one of the top hosts on QVC.
So, hi, how are you,
sweetie?
Nice to meet you. Nice to see you. Oh, you're so sweet. Thanks. I was talking about at 3:00 in the morning years ago, I had to sell dirt, Irish dirt. And so we were talking about how do you sell something that you don't love? And I said, well, somebody loves dirt in Ireland. So I could put myself in their spot and understand
what you
how
gotta
they would
do.
love it. Yeah. That's how you can sell anything.
You got to put, and I think there's something about putting your hands and maybe feeling a worm. That's what Irishness is all about.
Or feeling your ancestors.
He was nice. Then let's touch on that. So then there's Steals and Deals and there's the Today Show. All right. So are you doing everything still? Are you still having your hands in everything or are you just Sherpa
Steals and
or
Deals?
What? Steals and Deals and Today.
Well, Steals and
Hour
Deals,
Today.
yeah, we have a whole team, but yes, I like try every product. It's a major 6 months to a year vetting process. So I'm super buttoned up with Steals and Deals. And with the Sherpa business, yeah, every single deck that goes out, every email. Yeah, but I'm building like a brand based on, an item I wear 24/7, 360. I mean, I took it off, for 20 minutes, but I never take it off. I mean, I just make lighter ones.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have my hand in everything, but I'm doing the blankets and across all the schools and the sororities and with the fraternities. And so yeah, I'm really into it. And I'm in the Today Show, like still I'm wearing my hat. So yeah, as my pajamas say, looking for fun.
There you go. So what is next for you? You said you're dating.
I'm dating. So, not really like, I think you have to treat dating like a full-time job. You go on the dating apps. And so I'm not quite there. So I'm more concentrating on, I'm dating like the Sherpa business right now. And like, we're having fun. I go to sporting
really
events.
cuddly boyfriend.
Soft, comfy, cozy, machine washable.
Mm-hmm.
And so tell me about you. What's the plan?
And so the plan is, we're very new from me having my last day at QVC, and it was a very happy breakup. I've never had that before, by the way. I've never left a job. I'm working since I was 14. I've never left a job that I still loved and like that was like a happy
It's like
separation.
a marriage. Like I can't
Yeah.
imagine. Like, right.
Yeah.
But it's like so nice when you could, that you got that. That's such a better way.
And so I was able to over the months of kind of like the separation really define my purpose and what I want to put out in the world and what I want to accomplish and how I want to serve people. And that is help faith come alive in others, help women gain confidence so they can create more space for joy. And the way that I do that is through wellness and through faith. So that hence the podcast, which is all health science and biblical truth. I got a book deal, a 2-book deal from Zondervan, and one of them is the same name as the podcast, StRest. So going from stress to rest. And it's like 20 health science ways to rearrange your life to have less of the bad stress. So I started the podcast to be able to get some of the great guests and the doctors on to research it. And it's kind of just blown up, top 28 in health and fitness, top 200 worldwide. And it's just meeting a lot of the QVC women, but so many people where they need to be to kind of demystify wellness and stress and health. So podcast, speaking, writing, health coaching, but trying to kind of back away from that and just do kind of more group. And then I'm sure I'll come back as a chief wellness officer somewhere and do product development in the health and wellness space.
Interesting.
Yeah. Brand ambassador. I would love to return to QVC, behind a brand, like that would be great. But it
Right.
has to be.
Right. Right. Well, yeah, maybe there's a Sherpa in your future.
I would love that. But also, like you said, send me Sherpa because you know how much I love. I'll wear it. My podcasting space is like in the basement.
No. I'm gonna put tell me what you want embroidered, like the name of the show.
StRest, STREST.
Yeah.
I love it because it's so true though that if you have a bad day or you're sad, I remember when my mom passed and for a month, you don't want to get out of pajamas, but it's not just pajamas. You don't want to get out of the things that make you feel nurtured and loved and hugged and warm and comfortable. And not everything's like that, Jill. You've really been able to create something. So are there any supplements that you take? Got to ask you some of our health questions.
No, my everything is all because I'm on chemo medicine, and so like I'm on a different program.
So nothing that you take in there. What about and then any other health practices that you do or that if somebody else is going through treatment right now that you say this really helped me?
Right. I mean, I just think giving yourself the grace to rest is like the biggest thing that you could do during treatment. I think the biggest health lesson I could give, because I do feel like stress and worry exacerbated my cancer. I'm almost sure of it, just from what they told me and the speed at which it grew. If something does not work for you and it's for whatever reason toxic, even if it is a job and anything, it really does affect your health. It's a true thing. I believe that. I believe that your nervous system responds. There's scientific trail. It's just, we can't get rid of stress in our life and all the stressors, but at least put yourself in a position to succeed.
And nor do we want to. There's good stress out there too. That's what helps us. That's what helps you create Sherpa. And that's what helps people get further in life. But the constant
I guess
fight
I
or
don't
flight.
call that stress. I think stress has a negative connotation to it.
Well, there's eustress, EU stress, and then there's stress. And so what we're talking about is the eustress, the ones that the bad versus good. And you're right. Like the bad stress is what is exasperating the disease out there.
Right. Like if you want to build a business and you're up in the middle of the night and you're like writing, like that to me is not like, oh, I didn't sleep last night. I had so many ideas I didn't sleep last night. Those are two very different things.
Right.
So,
yeah, that's the good kind.
Yeah. And I think, life is messy and sad and no one gets out of it unscathed. So it's just like, pick your heart,
Pick your heart. That's so true. What's one thing that you think that everybody could do after listening to this right now to help them decrease their stress?
Sort out their t-shirt drawer, go through a drawer and cleanse it, or like your junk drawer.
That's a great one. That's a really, are you
Yeah, I
organized
have a
like
very
that?
organized junk drawer, and it's disorganized because that's the theme of a junk drawer, but it's organized. And so I always feel like, when I forgot her name for a second, it'll come to me, but she would say like, take everything out in your house and put it in the center. Like, don't do that. Like, take one drawer out, donate, consign, throw out, like your underwear, whatever that drawer is that's been bothering you, and just start small. Take a baby step. Better than no step.
Yep, absolutely. I love that. I have an organizational expert coming on in April who is fantastic. So
I will listen.
What's next for Jill Martin?
I'm just looking for a good time, I want to be
Don't
around
say that
people.
too loud. Watch out how you say that.
Yeah. You know what? I wish it were that. I wish it were that. Like, I'd love to get whisked away to some, I just like, I'm done feeling sad. I'm not the victim. I'm like strong and smart and, pretty. And I'm just like working to find peace in my life. That's also fun.
So true.